Is it over? Did we bottom? Or was this just a bull trap? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so the market sold off furiously Sunday night and into the Monday open, dropping 3.5% off of the Friday close. But then the bulls stepped in and rallied at 200 points higher to close the day green. In other words, we got the bounce we were looking for. Now, is this bounce bullish or is it a bull trap? I'll get into all that in just 1 second. But first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. Okay, guys, so with a furious sell-off, we dropped down into the pivot zone, which we expected. We did expect a bounce earlier than that, but we did get the bounce we were looking for, and now we have a pretty clear parameter for what's going on. So let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, here we are on the 5-minute futures chart, and I've zoomed in because everything we need to watch over the next day or so is going to happen in this region. So with the move down today, we have a couple possibilities that we're tracking. Let's first start with the bearish possibility. So the move down to 42.10, okay, is definitely low enough to complete all of wave 4. However, it would look better with one more low. It does look like this completed wave 3 of C down, and that this bounce could be wave 4 of C, and then we get one more low in wave 5 of C towards 41.50, well within our pivot, and completing wave C before we start the next bullish rally from there. So that's kind of what we're watching for the bears. For the bulls, okay, this is definitely deep enough to be all of 4. It's not the greatest structure in the world, but you could count enough waves to make it work. And they did get a 5-wave move up here in wave 1 that we have labeled on the chart. So in the bullish case, this would be a nano wave 1, a nano wave 2. We would be in the middle of wave 3 right now, and we would need to complete that to give us a strong indication that the bulls are in control and that this is the bottom. So let's talk about how we understand which path we're following and what to expect. So if this is the bullish path, because it's easier to translate this in the bullish regard, if this is the bullish path, okay, the bulls got good news with a 5-wave rally up, all right? Then they held support in wave 2, then they broke through the pivot. Remember, the pivot is the 0.618 and 764 of waves 1 and 2. That gives us an indication that we're starting wave 3 up. And then they got almost to the 1.236, but they did break through the 1.0, which is another good indication for the bulls. Very often, corrective waves, C equals A, which would be the 1.0 extension, and they got up past that by about 20 points, which was pretty good. So now we are seeing a pullback, which is what we would expect. We would expect to hit the 1.236, then pull back into the pivot or to test the pivot, okay? And then the pivot must hold for this to continue to be bullish. So we are right in the middle of the pivot right now at 43.52. The level we must hold for the bullish count to remain active is 43.4150. I'm going to round and make it a round number, so we're going to call it 43.41. Okay, so the bulls need to hold 43.41 in this pullback that we're seeing that's testing the pivot, and then accelerate to the 1382, okay, which would be 44.35. If they do that, then we would expect one more pullback to test the pivot, which would be bigger wave 4, okay? And then up to the 1618 to complete wave 3 at 44.64, okay? So just to recap, the bulls need to pull back to the pivot. They need a rally up to the 1382 area, 44.35. A pullback that again will test or get close to the pivot. It may get to the 1.0 at 43.88, but test this area here. And then another rally up to the 1618 at 44.65. If they can do all of that, then we have a solid 3-wave structure. We would look for a wave 4 and 5 up from there to complete the 5-wave structure. But getting to 44.65 and following those parameters would be a very bullish structure. For the bears, it's very simple. Break the pivot. 43.41 is the area they have to break. They are right down here now. All they have to do is push through the bottom of this pivot, and it's very likely we are going to head lower in this lower low in 5 towards the 41.50 area. So Those are the two paths, and the pivot is basically the key. That's why we're zoomed in, because we're watching the pivot in that 43.41 area. And right now it looks like they've been fighting it out here at the pivot for about the last 3 hours. So I would expect some kind of decision soon, but cut and dry, guys. The pivot is the key. If they can hold 43.41 and push it up to 44.35 as a start, that would be very bullish. If they cannot hold the pivot and break 43.41 to the downside, that would be very bearish, and we would look for that 41.50 area to finally complete this move down. But this bounce, guys, that we were looking for, this is a very good sign, whether it ends up being fully bullish and we rally, or it's just an ABC up. It is the start of a bottoming structure, which is a very good thing, which will tell us either that the bottom is in, or we only have one more low to deal with, and we should start to see a rally from that low. So that is what we are watching for over the next day or so. Guys, if you like the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to get in my Facebook group, okay? There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, and it will take you over to Facebook. Okay, once you're over to Facebook, you do have to get approved to get into my Facebook group, but the only thing that I ask is that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So hit that subscribe button and come on over to Facebook. You're going to want to be there this week, guys. I have a major announcement on Sunday. I'm doing a Facebook Live, and being in the Facebook group is very advantageous. Okay, so come on over to Facebook, guys. I'll get you in. Once you're in Facebook, to get the most out of it, hit this featured tab right here in the middle. Scroll down and you'll see a link to my documented trades. Scroll down just a little bit further and you will see a link to my Slack channel. Now, Slack is just a free chat channel, and I am on there all day during real-time market hours, giving you real-time market updates, okay, giving you all of my buy and sell alerts, as well as answering all of your Elliott Wave questions. It is a very talented group of traders, from the very experienced to the very beginner, and it's a great place to learn or improve your trading. So come on over and let's make some money together. Guys, key takeaways for today: the pivot is everything. Okay, the bulls must hold the pivot and push higher towards 44.35. The bears must break the pivot at 43.41, and then we look lower towards that wave 5 in C, down towards that 41.50 area. All right, guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.